Welcome back to the GMS Studio Theaters here at NSA Thrive 2026. And I'm here with my great friend, Mr. Ethan King.
Hey,
Mr.
Rich.
Ethan King. Ethan, you and I, we spent time at Influence last year,
Yeah.
all right, in Scottsdale. Okay.
Yes.
And we were breaching areas themselves that people are really climbing into. All right. And that's that world of AI.
Right.
But we've got some new developments and we got some new ways themselves. We're taking a look at this, and you're going to give us the ibby and the skibby, okay,
That's right.
of what's going on. These changes themselves. Some AI is definitely changing. It's
Oh,
working,
my goodness.
but it's still its infancy stage.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it's the worst it will
Tremendous.
ever be.
Exactly. Like super infancy, right?
Yeah.
What's the big changes? What are we seeing?
Since you and I last talked, and this was just a span of a few months
A
ago.
few months ago, right?
Yeah. And we were talking about authentic influence, making sure that AI sounds like you and not putting out this generic AI slop.
Right.
Well, the major thing that has changed just in the past few weeks is that you are now able to have your own digital virtual assistant that can actually operate things on your behalf, that can access files on your computer and do things on your behalf.
That's a little scary.
It can be scary, but it depends on how you
Can
look
it be
at
managed?
it. Yeah, it can be managed. Now, it is still early, and security is a concern.
It
You do
is,
need to
no
be
doubt.
mindful of that. But there are things that have come out already at this point where we're talking right now, February of 2026.
Okay.
Claude came out with Opus 4.6,
All right.
and they have Claude Code, Claude Cowork. And those are the big game changers because it allows Claude to actually interact. And this is Claude, CLAUDE,
Yeah.
by Anthropic, that allows the AI to interface with files on your computer.
Okay.
So you could tell it to organize the files on your desktop. Do it however you see fit, and it will actually go and do that for you.
Really?
You can tell it to go and actually do things in a web browser for you, take actual actions, not depending on you to do things. And then a step farther than that, and this has been a major shift in AI, is OpenClaw. So this was developed by an independent developer. It's open source software that you can install on a Mac computer,
Right.
or you can do it in a cloud environment as well. If you go to, probably the easiest one right now is if you go to this site called Kimi K2, KIMI, and then K2,
Yeah.
and you install OpenClaw. This allows you to literally have a virtual assistant who's like a human. Imagine if you have an intern sitting at a computer waiting for your every beck and call. And you can just message this intern. You can send them a message on Telegram or WhatsApp or iMessage
Right, exactly.
and say, hey, do this for me. You can even hack it to like your glasses and speak to it that way and say, hey, I need you to go do this thing for me. And it can have repetitive tasks. It can have a log of work that it's doing for you. It is your 24/7 digital assistant that has its own email address. You can even, some people even give it its own credit card. You have to give it a name. It's literally like you're building a person. And what's going to happen now is we're going to have, it will be normal in the next few years.
I don't think so.
It will, for you and I to just have teams of assistants. That will
Really?
be the norm. Just like we all have iPhones now.
Right, exactly.
You're going to have a team of assistants doing things for you.
So you touched on the areas themselves of a security issue.
Mhm.
Okay, this is big because basically you're allowing AI to get into your files.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then from AI into the files themselves, you're telling me right now, Self, that it would be able to augment, push, move files themselves according to where you want to see. So if I wanted to say collectively, I want all the files that start with ABC. Okay, because I've
Mhm.
coded those files accordingly. It can take all those files themselves and put them in a file manager.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the file manager itself. So it's easy for me. Then I can actually turn around to AI, says, AI, call up files ABC.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then basically I can review all those files. And then even further than that, pick up the file from either a date, pick up
Mhm.
a file from a file size,
Mhm.
pick up a file from a particular genre, content, or anything else like this, and it'd be able to bring up the file itself.
And not just bringing up files, it can create files.
Really?
So this is how we need to think about AI. And this is what I talk about in my keynotes. I keynote all over the world. I teach workshops
Good.
about AI and automation. And I start off with a personal story because this will help people get it.
All right.
And this is a true story. When I was 10 years old, my mother took us to Africa. It was always a dream of hers to live in West Africa for the Peace Corps and help the people over
Okay,
there.
good.
And there was an image that stuck with me in my mind. You ever seen something when you were a kid and it just kind of etched in your mind?
Sure, right.
We lived in Niamey, Niger, and it was just the capital of the country, Niger.
Azure, right.
And along the river, every morning I would see the villagers washing their clothes in the river. They wash each garment by hand and they let it dry on the banks of the river because it
Mhm.
was very hot over there.
Yeah, sure.
And they would spend all morning washing garments by hand, letting them dry on the side of the river.
Right.
And that made me really appreciate washing
Washing
machines and
machines. Right,
dryers,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you wash garments by hand every day?
Not most recently, all
Okay.
right?
No, of course. But let me ask you this. How come in our business we handle repetitive tasks one by one? We're all guilty of doing it.
Sure.
I'm an entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for decades.
Yeah, right.
But there's still those tasks that I handle the same way. I write the same email, different people, but I find myself saying the same thing over and over again. So do people on your team. Why do we tolerate that in our businesses when now we have the power at our fingertips to build the washing machine?
Wow.
So think about AI that way now. With a washing machine, you have your input, which is your dirty laundry,
Mhm.
and then your output is your clean
You're
laundry.
right.
And now with the washing machine metaphor, now they have the newer ones where it's just a one and done. Have you seen those?
Yeah, sure.
Where it washes and then it dries. So you only
Rise.
need one unit.
That's right.
So you put an input.
Space Saver
Yeah,
Plus.
exactly. And they're AI powered.
AI powered, right,
So
exactly.
you drop it in input and then you tell it what you want the output to be. You build the machine, and then that's all you're required to do. After you build the machine,
Yeah.
which now you don't need to have any coding or programming knowledge. I'm not a tech guy. Listen, Rich, I was an art major in college. I think I told you that
I got
last
yeah,
time.
see, we did,
Yeah,
we did. Yeah, I got that.
right. So if I can build this, anyone can do it. We can build it with plain English. Just need to tell it how you want the machine to operate. After it's built, you drop in your input, which could be whatever. Hey, I want to drop in a transcript of a call I had with a client.
Right.
And then on output, I want this pretty PDF Word or document with my logo at the top of every page and my name at the bottom and page numbers. And it will do that. All you have to do going forward is just drop in and it comes out. So you're saving yourself endless hours. That's how we got to think about AI.
So I'm seeing a difference. We've had a lot of individuals and presenters and speakers and trainers and keynoters themselves talking about AI and everything else like this. This is different. All
Very
right. This
different.
is a different swing to the AI. Now I can understand the fact itself why individuals will say, my job is at risk. Okay.
Yes.
Because of the advancement of what it's able to accomplish.
Right.
Okay. And I'm going to say it's probably multitask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to venture to say time and execution
Yes.
is seconds.
Oh,
Okay.
second.
Or nothing.
Well, I, yes, seconds, but you can give it longer tasks and it will like
Sure.
build code for you
Sure.
overnight. It can build apps for you.
Right.
That's another major development. So, ironically, the people whose jobs are being replaced now are the computer programmers,
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
the people who built the
How does
stuff.
this get into the wrong hands?
That's the problem right now.
Yeah.
It's the wild
Wild
west.
West.
These were
Right.
built by independent coders, and so you have bad players, bad human
Sure.
players who can exploit these skills that AI can use, and they make it look like it's an innocent skill, like, hey, post this thing to Twitter or on my
Right.
LinkedIn, but it can really on the back end silently get in there and your AI says, yes, okay, I'll do this thing. And now it gives access to all your API keys over
Sure.
to the hacker. And you don't know what's good or bad right now. So that's the danger. So, what I advise people to do is instead of being scared, put it on its own unit. Like, don't put
Right.
it on your own computer.
Sure.
Let it be on its own independent system. Treat it like an intern that you just hired off of the street.
Right.
You wouldn't give them your credit card and
No,
the
and I
keys to
wouldn't
your
give them. Yeah, I
car.
wouldn't give them passwords and things of
Yeah.
this nature. I got it.
You're gonna give them limited access to do certain things, and you're gonna watch carefully how they do it because you don't know this person.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna not hire them. You're
Sure.
just gonna trust them a little bit.
Right.
But these systems will get better and better because the bigger companies are absorbing this technology.
Sure. Right.
In fact, already OpenAI purchased the OpenClaw
Open. All
software.
right. Exactly.
So and it's all about the competition. So now Google has to compete with that. Claude has to compete with that. So we're going to see more and more of these agentic systems that you
Mm.
can just message and have do things for you. And then you'll have teams of agents working for you.
Wow. This is a whole different perspective on my part of seeing exactly what it is, and I can see why the concerns. I see it's raising the concerns of security. You've got these back hackers and everything else that's got to do what position to steal material a lot quicker, a lot faster.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
see the point itself of taking it offline to a different computer. So it's not on your main line.
Right.
Okay. And it sounds like to me right now it's a crash test dummy.
It is. It is. But I will say this, Rich. That's the downside of it.
Right, exactly.
In
And
that
there's
yeah,
upsides without a doubt,
we do need
100%.
to be cautious, but for opportunists, for people who are optimistic about the long run,
Right.
this is your head start
Sure.
because we see where the puck is headed, right? That the smart players skate to
Yeah,
where the
right,
puck is
exactly.
headed.
Sure.
Where it's headed a few years from now, it will be normalized. But then
Right.
you have a chance to start building up your team of digital agents
Mm.
so that you could be a one person
Yeah, right.
shop
Yeah.
who you keep your human team. I'm not saying replace humans because
Yeah.
you need humans to
Yeah,
do
she
things.
the
Yeah,
touch, the
yeah,
feel,
operate
sense,
the
and everything else of
equipment,
this, right.
having events, being in person, things like you and I are sitting here really
Right,
today
exactly,
in
yeah.
person. Things like that are going to be magnified
Mm.
the more and more we go into a digital world where it's so easy to create things with AI that you see on a screen,
Yeah.
people are going to crave human connection,
Right, 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 right.
live experiences.
Mm.
We have our meetings, our NSA Georgia
Yeah,
meetings.
right.
I have the option to do it on Zoom or come in person.
Sure.
I always come in person because I
Right.
want to be around people. I want to be in the same
In the
space with
focus
you.
point. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
Wow. If there's one thing that you'll be able to leave our folks until influence next. Okay. What's the one thing? I'm not going to say it's caution, but I'm saying it's one thing itself to prepare, all right, for the next steps and next stages. What would that be?
The one thing is to adopt an automation first mindset.
Okay.
Every time you sit down to do a task in your day-to-day workflow or in your business, think to yourself, am I washing this garment by hand one by one? Or can I build a washing machine to
Washing
do this
machine.
for
Right.
me?
Exactly. My gosh. Ethan, how do people get a hold of you? Because I'm sure they're dialing. Actually, they're dialing the phone right now. How do people
Uh,
get a hold of you?
yeah, I'm very busy right now. EthanKing.com. That's
Right.
where you can find all of my social media network connections and
Good.
reach out to me if you want to book me to speak in an event.
Good.
You can buy a copy of my book,
Good.
ChatGPT to Double Your Business in 90 Days.
Okay.
I'm happy to work with you. I want to help people stay ahead in
Good.
this race.
Superb. And I think it is a race, without a doubt. Uncharted race, but indefinitely a race, without a
Definitely.
doubt. Ethan, it's been my honor and distinct pleasure. All
Always
right,
a
to bring
pleasure,
you up
Rich.
to, and
All
we'll
right.
see. We want updates. I want to come back, and of course, you live close to home.
Yep.
All right,
All
so
right.
I'm going to see if we can get these updates themselves and see how this all works out.
We'll talk soon.
Good enough. NSA Thrive. Thanks for coming out. GMS Studios. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.